Kia ora and kiaorana, my name is Sonny Teio and welcome to episode 3 of season 1 for Unlimited Living Podcast, which is a waka for all people to achieve infinitely more and to live, love, life. Well, what another exciting week it has been in the New Zealand film industry with Taika Waititi winning the Best Adapted Screenplay at the Academy Awards and BAFTA Awards in the same week. This guy, he is the man, and I predict that he will be nominated with a knighthood. Taika is creating ways for all Indigenous people around the world, not just the film industry, but also in the creative arts, different types of art work. Budding filmmaking artists of Indigenous descent and inspired by his achievements recently, such as making that movie Thor, Hunt for the Water People, Boy, Green Lantern, the Benjamin Games, just to name a few. He's working on the next round of Thor, and there's another round of movies that he's got in the pipeline. So it's been a fantastic week. I've been really inspired by his effort and his work and everything that he's doing for the Indigenous people around the world. Well, we're here on week 2 of this season 1, and we've ticked off the season with a 12-week challenge where each week we were going to focus on one particular word that we would discuss here on this podcast. And last week we kicked off this 12-week challenge with the word changes, and I gave you 5 simple steps on how you can make some radical changes in your life. This week, we want to focus on the word choices, because every single day we are making choices from the moment we wake up to the moment we fall asleep. And based on some research, the average person is faced with up to 35,000 choices per day. That is phenomenal, which means that nearly 2,000 choices are made per hour if you had an average 7-hour sleep per day, which is lucky for some. So from the moment we wake up, the first choice is to wake up, to actually get up and start your day. Or the first choice could be, let's just hit that snooze button one more time, and I just need a little bit more. I just did another 5 minutes, please, last 5 minutes. Then the next minute, 30 minutes, you wake up and you're late and you're rushing to the bathroom. You kind of get everything sorted simply because of one choice. We choose what clothes to wear, we choose to brush our teeth or not, we choose to have breakfast or not, we choose to go to work, we choose the words we speak, we choose our behavior patterns, we choose to sit in front of a TV at the end of a long day because we want to finish that Netflix marathon, that Netflix TV series. We choose our own habits, whether those habits are good or whether they're bad. We choose what we're going to eat at every single meal. You are making a choice right now to listen to this podcast, and I appreciate that you've made that choice, but I appreciate it even more because you are still making a choice to keep listening to my podcast all the way from Auckland, New Zealand. Unlimited Living with Sonny Teio. Well, the quote of the week is that your life is a result of your choices. Your life is a result of your choices. And today I want to give you my number 1 tip to making better choices. Alright, my number 1 tip to making better choices in your life. I've been using this app called My Fitness app, and I was searching through the history of my weight logging. It's about logging foods and your weights, how much water you drink, how much exercise you do, logging each meal to track your calories, your macros, protein, fat, carb, all that kind of intake, and it sets goals that this is what you can achieve, and it's been amazing. And so I was just going through the history of my weight logins, and I noticed that for nearly 10 years I've been struggling with my weight, and I've been always over what I'm supposed to be. And then I noticed that it was getting it was going up and up and up. And just in 2019, I hit the heaviest I've ever been in my whole life. When I jumped on my digital scale at home, it didn't even recognize my weight, and I was like, man, something wrong with the scale. But really, the truth is, there's something wrong with me. And so I went to the doctors and did all the physical checkup, and yep, they confirmed there's nothing wrong with my digital scale at home. I've gone past the ability for that digital scale to measure my current or my physical weight. So that was the alarm bell started going off, and I thought, man, I've got to make some better choices. I've got to choose better eating habits, make some better eating habits, choose better choices in my food choice, do more exercise, things like that. I had to change, which is what I talked about last week. So I've discovered this little secret that I want to share. It's my number one tip to making better choices in your life. So what is my number one tip to making better choices in life? And it's basically this: start small. That's right, start small. I've tried so many times to lose weight again and again with a number of different diets, promising myself to make radical changes, that I'm just going to flip the coin and everything's going to change. But next minute, I came crashing back down and realized, man, I've actually gone backwards. I've become worse, I did lose some weight for a short period, but then fell off the rails, and then it all came back on, and a little bit extra's got the bonus. So I discovered this secret last year: start small. And I thought, man, nothing else has worked. I've got to try this. And so I did. I had to choose. That it's my fault that I am this way, and that it's nobody else's. I had to realize that I put myself here. I'm the one who fed myself. I choose to put that food in my mouth, not anyone else. And we need to choose to stop blaming our circumstances for the food we eat. Choose to start figuring out a way to eat proper food. And I can happily say that I've lost 10 kilos in the last 2 months, because I started making small choices, small changes in my eating habit. What I did was I focused on one food that I know that was bad for me, and replaced it with a healthy option. And I've kind of been thinking about going down the vegetarian journey, not because of what happens to meat and all that sort of stuff. It was just something that I wanted to do. And so I thought, okay, how can I become a vegetarian? And I had tried in the past, but it's like completely switched for me. It was just too difficult. My body was already conditioned to having some form of meat every single day. So I decided, let's just try 1 day a week. Start small, 1 day a week. I'm not going to eat any meat. I can eat anything I want, just not meat. And so when it came to the day, it's going to be Wednesday. I'm going to do it on Wednesday. And it came to Wednesday, and then it was like, mate, it was just craving for me. And I thought, well, this ain't going to work if I'm feeling this way. So I thought, let's start smaller. Let's start with one meal. So I decided lunch. I'm going to buy lunch, and it's going to be a vegetarian option. And that's how I started. Started with that one lunch, one meal a day, one meal, 1 day a week. And so then just until the next week come along, I keep building myself. Okay, one meal, 1 day a week. So second week, done. And then it came to the point, okay, I think I could do the whole day the next week. And then, whole day, it was a lot easier. I wasn't craving, because I was starting to change my thinking, and that was really cool. And then started that 1 day of just no meat, became 2 days a week, 3 days. And like right now, I'm up to 6 days a week, but I wouldn't still classify myself as a vegetarian. I just choose not to have red meat or chicken. I'm definitely eating fish, because, man, Polynesian, man, come on. Gotta eat the fish. Gotta eat that seafood, man, that kiaorana. So, start small. That's my number one tip. You don't decide your future, you decide your habits. And your habits will decide your future. We are what we repeatedly do. And excellent then is not an act, but a habit of small decisions or small choices. Choose to stop making those excuses. Choose to stop pointing a finger and blaming someone else. Choose to start planning your activities of each day. Start with one meal per week and plan it that meal is going to be whatever it is. We want to stop eating bread and say that meal I'm not eating anything that's got loaded with carbs or bad carbs. Choose to take ownership of every choice we make. Choose to start considering the reality that if you don't change your choices, you will never change. And another key thing is that you need to realize that when you're wanting to replace a bad habit or stop a bad habit, you have to replace it with something good. It's like when smokers who try to quit and they need to replace that habit. They need to replace that habit with another habit, because the emptiness or the void that is left when they stop smoking is going to be refilled with, needs to be replaced with a good habit or good choice. Otherwise, it's going to come back and be refilled with the original bad habit. So if you don't like your life, it's time to make some better choices. And my number one tip is to start small. So remember that your life is a result of choices, or your choices. A tribal elder is teaching his grandson about life. A fight is going on inside me, he says to his boy. It is a terrible fight, and it is between two dogs. One represents evil. He is always angry, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. All the bad stuff. This bad dog represents that. And then there's the other dog. He represents good. This dog, he is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. And this same fight is going on inside you, he says to his grandson. And it's going on inside every other person on this planet. So the grandson, he sits there and he thinks about the story and thinks about it, and then eventually after about a minute he asks his grandfather, so in this fight, which dog will win? And the grandfather simply replied, it's the one you feed the most. So remember, folks, feed the good dog. Start with small choices. Whether it's to change the seat that you sit on the bus, whether it's to change the playlist that you listen to every single day. Even if you just remove one song, start making small choices and let it build up to that big radical choice or change that you need to see in life. Alright? If you think this podcast has helped someone, please choose to share it. I would be so much grateful for your kindness. So next week we will continue our 12-week challenge, going into the third week of the third word of the week, and we're going to look at the word causes. So make sure you tune in next week and follow me here on Unlimited Living with Sonny Teio, and search for me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. At Sonny Teio is my name, and I'm just in the process of upgrading my YouTube channel so that I can go on from podcasting. I've also got a blog happening here on my website, sonnyteio.com, www.sonnyteio.com. So please don't hesitate to give me a 5-star rating and share to your family and friends this podcast. And thank you once again for listening to Unlimited Living with Sonny Teio, which is a waka for all people to achieve infinitely more and to live love life. Ka kite anō, and God bless you all.